very own fierce advocate for our families, our executive director, Jennifer Chrisler.
That was like the voice of God times 3 for that introduction, so thank you. And how amazing to be with you all celebrating the 30th anniversary of Family Equality Council. It's so great to have you all here with us. And could we have picked a better week to be celebrating this organization? I mean, really. Monday, Washington is going to become the 7th state where our families can affirm their commitment through marriage. And just earlier this week, the president came out in support of the principles of our federal legislation, the Every Child Deserves a Family Act. And he was declaring unequivocally that lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people should not be discriminated against as parents. And right here in California, the Ninth Circuit Court ruled in our favor, affirming that we do have the freedom to marry. So I want to say a special thanks to our honoree tonight, Chad Griffin, and to AFER, and to the plaintiffs, Chris and Sandy and Jeff and Paul, all of whom are here with us tonight to celebrate an amazing victory for our families. Thank you. So when I joined this organization as your executive director 7 years ago, my twin sons, Tim and Tom, were just 3 years old. And today, they are almost 10. And now my spouse and I are expecting our 3rd child. That's what this is, just in case anybody's wondering. And I know this child will be born into a far different world than my kids, Tim and Tom, were born into 10 years ago. And I am also sure that 30 years ago, when a group of gay fathers got together and started this organization, they never could have predicted how far we would have come in those 30 years. So as amazing as our 30-year history has been, tonight we stand together at a crucial moment in our history. Never before have families with parents who are LGBT been so visible, so united, and so hopeful. And never before have we been so under attack by those who would deny us our freedom, deny us our happiness, and deny us our families. Just listen to what presidential candidate of the week, Rick Santorum, had to say when asked about gay parents. And I quote, "Even fathers in jail who have abandoned their kids are still better than no father at all." And that's why Family Equality Council does what we do. Because each time I meet a new family and I see the love that binds them together and the strength that keeps them going, despite a society that oftentimes is harsh and sometimes damages, I can see the difference that we are making together and can actually imagine a day when the vitriol spouted by some of our leaders will no longer be tolerated. Now, because of our work, we bring together thousands of LGBT families at signature events like Family Weeks and Families in the Desert. Events that help parents, and especially our children, feel stronger and less isolated. For the child from Puerto Rico who attended Family Week last year and who never had a single classmate come to any of her birthday parties in her entire 8 years because she has 2 moms, Family Week was a life-changing way to celebrate her birthday because for the first time, she actually had friends at a birthday party to celebrate with her. And because of our work, we are changing public policy to ensure that all families are protected and respected. Families like Naz and Lydia's, who after their twin children were born 6 weeks prematurely, were unable to access family medical leave because they lived in the state of Arizona, where Lydia isn't recognized as the children's legal parent, which meant that Lydia wasn't able to see or care for her children the entire 6 weeks that they were in the intensive care unit. And the only good news out of their situation is that they are comforted by the fact that their story and our hard work with the Secretary of Labor changed the way that family medical leave is applied to LGBT parents, which means that no family will be faced with unfair financial pressure or professional risk to care for their children in a time of crisis. Because of our work on marriage equality, more families and couples are being recognized for their commitment. Because of our work on adoption and foster care, more children who need them have loving parents. Because of our work creating safer schools, more children of LGBT parents don't face harassment and bullying because of who their parents are. And because of our work, the voices of our families are amplified. Their stories, the stories of real American families with real family values, are being seen and heard all across this country. With our simple, honest stories, we are changing the world. And next year, Family Equality Council has its most ambitious plans ever. So we're going to launch a national youth corps led by Zach Walls and Ella Robinson, who you saw in that video, comprised of this generation of kids raised by LGBT parents. They're going to share their stories and tell the truth about our families. Theirs will be voices that no opponent can silence. And we will continue our extraordinary leadership on policy issues, including holding our first ever Family Day in Washington, D.C., where we will unleash the power of our parents by visiting every member of Congress and showing them the love and the commitment of LGBT parents so they can no longer vilify or demonize us for their political gain. It's going to be a great year. And in the next 3 years, we're going to continue to challenge the voices in the business of denying our families. Family Equality Council will be the counter to those supposed family groups, like Focus on the Family, like the Family Research Council, so they will never go unanswered when they lie about our families. And we will fight to ensure that the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell isn't the last stop of ensuring equality for LGBT servicemen and women. We will work side by side with our colleagues to make sure that not only can we serve openly, but that our families get equal treatment in healthcare, in housing, and in the inclusion of military life. And whether it takes 3 years or 5 years or more, we will work every single day until we have the freedom to marry in all 50 states and until our parents are legally recognized. Family Equality Council has been here for the last 30 years. And I can promise you we are in this for the next 30 or as long as it takes, because future generations will look back on our work, and know that they have us to thank for the day when all families are respected, protected, and celebrated. Because we're full of hope, full of hope for the future, for our children and our children's children. There are 1 million LGBT families raising 2 million children who are counting on us. So for 30 years, Family Equality Council has been making the world a better place. And I promise, with your help, we will not stop, we will not compromise, we will not back down until my children and your children live in a world where they are truly equal. Thank you all so much for being here. I am so proud of the work that we're doing together, and thank you for helping us celebrate our 30th anniversary together.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome former board chair, member of the Emeritus Board, long